Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Movie Couple Live, the show where we talk about the latest in movie news and pop culture. I'm Wendy,
I'm Dustin.
and in today's episode, we're talking Episode 9 recap of X-Men '97 because that ending was insane.
We also got to go see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes at IMAX, so we're going to be talking about that.
And of course, the official trailer for The Boys Season 4 has been released. We got to talk about it because it's now become one of our favorite TV series.
And so much more. Thank you all for joining us on this wonderful Wednesday. And welcome to all of those who are watching us on or tuning in on Spotify.
That's right. We're finally on Spotify. It took forever, but we finally did it. So, it's also available in audio and video, so you can listen to us, you can watch us on there, whatever it may be. We will be dropping these live shows that we do, kind of like VOD style, onto Spotify, our podcast, as well as movie reviews. So just search The Movie Couple. You'll find us there on Spotify and rate us 5 stars because we're just starting out and we'd love to start building a following there as well.
So get comfy, grab your coffee, grab your boba, grab your liquid IV with promo code The Movie Couple and get 20% off and free shipping. Today, I've got grapefruit.
Oh, me too.
Oh, you got the grapefruit one too?
Yeah, it's the new flavor. So also Liquid IV, they just did a whole branding revamp. It's the same exact product with their 50 million flavors, but the packaging is new. It's refreshed. I think it looks really cool. So for the next little bit, if we do show you Liquid IV stuff, it might be just in the older packaging, just because we haven't gotten we haven't bought any of the new products, but we will, because we literally use it every day, and with summer coming up, Southern California gets very hot.
Oh yeah, I'm outside at work probably 90% of my shift, and Liquid IV is a lifesaver to make sure that I don't pass out in the hot sun.
Heck yeah. Just gonna hold for a second to make sure we're doing okay. Okay.
I think so. I think we're all live. We're all set and ready to go. We're doing a whole new setup here, so we're trying to make sure that everything is up and running and make sure Navi's doing her job. But so far it seems like we're doing good.
I also think Navi's taking a nap, so there's that. You guys, before we get into our main topics, I really do want to talk about the new image for Superman released by James Gunn. He released it on his own threads. I don't know if he's still on Twitter/X. I'm not really sure, but he took to his own threads account and he posted this first look for Superman. Obviously, this is for his Superman movie. I think it was called Superman Legacy. Now it's just called Superman. This is with actor I'm gonna butcher your name. I'm so sorry. David Cornsvet, I think, is the how you pronounce the last name. But this, it shows off the suit. It shows off what appears to be some sort of battle phenomenon happening above Metropolis there. What do you think of the new suit, Dustin?
Well, honestly, okay, so the new suit looks good. We've seen so many different renditions of Superman now. It's kind of hard to, surprise us or to get us super excited about a new suit. But honestly, this suit still falls in line. I don't think you can't really see if he has the red underwear.
You do. He has trunk. Well,
the red trunks on.
Yes, you can kind of see it. You can kind of see it, but it's confirmed. All the articles are talking about it.
It also looks like it's a little battle worn.
Yes.
But honestly, I'm not too thrilled about this picture. The way that it looks, the way that he's kind of haphazardly putting on his suit while there's a big, disaster going on outside.
As a caveat, this photo was taken on set, in camera. So I don't think this is part of a take. I think it might just be in between takes where he's sitting down. Him as the actor is adjusting his boots. I don't think this is Superman hang on, let me pull my boots up before I go and fight Lex Luthor or something like that. But
the whole point of releasing some of these photos are usually to get us super excited, to be like, oh my gosh, this looks awesome. But the way he's sitting, the way that he's putting on the costume, the way that things are going on in the background, it doesn't really give you that good of a look at the costume. Since he's bent over, you're missing a lot of it through just the fact that you don't get a look at everything, so you can't really get the idea of the whole ensemble. Also, it's a little already battle worn, so you don't get to see what it looks like in its tip top shape. So I really would have wished that we could have gotten something a little bit. I hate to say it, a little bit more traditional of,
Okay.
like maybe Superman like on the top of the Daily Planet. And you get to see like, a little bit of like the bald eagle on the arm.
You want like a little more like Alex Ross sort of.
Maybe.
Is that the artist that does all the?
But honestly, it's just the fact that it just doesn't get me as excited as some pictures that I've seen in the past for superhero costumes and superhero movies.
I
mean, there's nothing really there that looks bad.
Correct.
But there's really nothing there that gets me like super excited for it.
I mean, I'm gonna pop the picture up one more time just so I can take a look at it after hearing. Did I lose the photo?
You're like, where did it go?
Here it is. Okay. Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying about. I don't really have that much of a problem with it. I think though it is because we can't see a lot of the costume where he isn't standing. So it's like bunches a little bit in the arm area, but like to me that's not a big deal because I know we'll get like a formal, I guess, like photo of him in a more superhero like Superman like pose. But I like the little coif in his hair, the very iconic, little. I mean, all the Supermans have had it in their hair, so it's not like they were gonna take that away. I would like to see the suit once he's standing up, but for me. I just appreciate James Gunn was like, look, because I think the paparazzis have been kind of insane trying to get, photos from set, and he's, in a way, jumping ahead of it and going, all right, you guys want a photo that bad? Here, I'll release it. It's releasing on his term and DC's term, and not like some low-resolution shot from really far away superhero shot. So I think for me, I'm really happy just that he got a photo out there on their own terms, and kind of stick it to them.
Well, and it does happen a lot too, where the paparazzi. I mean, heck, it happened in Deadpool, and we got the suits, Wolverine's suit leaked, and a little bit of the fight leaked.
In like the 20th century.
And the 20th Century Fox leaked, but that does still build hype, even though it's kind of out of the director's hands and out of the studio's hands when it is released. I mean, but it still kind of does its job of people going, oh my God, that's Wolverine's costume. So, but I mean, it does. I mean, this picture does kind of work. I mean, it shows that the main bad guy is probably going to be Brainiac. I don't know if he's announced who the main bad guy is.
I completely forgot. Lex Luthor is announced. We know Green Lantern is announced. I believe Hawkgirl is announced. I could be wrong, so please correct me for our live viewers. Please correct me in the comments. But yeah, we were also talking about how Nathan Fillion finally gets to like play live action.
Playing live action Green Lantern. Yes. But it's not Hal Jordan.
It's Guy Gardner.
Even though I think Nathan Fillion really could pull off a good Guy Gardner as well. Because I think he can really pull off that, funny for the audience, but annoying for all the characters that are in the movie. So that might really work. And plus, I remember you read me a quote that he had said that, he's really excited to play
a character.
Super, like 90% flawed character. Yeah. And he just has like 10% of him is good.
Well, at least we acknowledge that, I guess, right off the top. Yes. So before we jump into our main topics, we want to go to our live viewers' comments, and we also see a super chat, so we're going to go ahead and grab that right now from Hassan. Thank you for your super chat. Hassan writes, the background kind of stole my focus. I agree with you there, but I'm getting a very Peter Parker style character.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I have to agree with this. The background really does kind of pull your focus, and the main focus really should be on Superman. This is Superman's movie, but yet you immediately look into the background and go, whoa, what's that? What's that? Oh, wait, and there's Superman. The main focus really be, whoa, Superman's awesome. And then you go, oh, wait, what's that in the background? Whoa, that looks really cool. But I feel like, yeah, you've kind of hit the nail on the head about the background really pulls the focus of that picture.
Yes. So very interesting. Just kind of want to bring that up top of the show before we get into our main topic, just to see what everybody is thinking there. And then there was another comment that confirms, yes, Hawkgirl is confirmed to be in the upcoming film, which we won't get to see until 2025 anyway.
Yeah,
so
we have a ways
yeah.
to get. I mean, they're already dropping tidbits because we're all gnawing at the bit to be like, oh, what is this new DC universe that we're getting? And I mean, what are they going to keep? What are they going to throw away? What are they going to have Elseworld? What are they going to have? Because yeah, it's kind of like when the Marvel Cinematic Universe started up. Everyone's like, oh, what about this? What about this? And it's the beginning of a new era. So everyone is having all of these high expectations and everyone is just super excited because it's something that is near and dear to all of our hearts.
And I imagine this year with San Diego Comic-Con coming up, that will be the Hall H to really tune in, whether you are able to get in person or just listen and watch for everybody's like live tweets online if you're covering and just following from home, just to see what sort of announcement they drop, because I can't not see DC/WB having not having a big presence in Hall H with all of the new DC stuff coming. So anyways, that is our quick thoughts on the Superman, the first official Superman photo released by James Gunn himself. And now we're going to go ahead and get into our first main topic, and that is going to be Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. We're going to just do a quick discussion. We got to see the film last night. It was at the IMAX headquarters theater in California, and it's a pretty far away theater, but we do enjoy being in that theater, so we made the drive to go. My thoughts before going in was sort of, I was so in love with all the Caesar story arc.
Yeah.
Like, I was hooked in. I love the characters. I love the story. So it was, feeling that sense of loss of, like, we're not going to get Caesar's story anymore. We're not going to get Andy Serkis's performance anymore. What's going to... How are they going to use this movie as sort of the way to build the bridge to the path to the Charlton Heston films?
Yeah,
right?
And honestly, that was one of the things that I was the most nervous about, is that Andy Serkis was not involved in any of the mocap on this movie anymore. So I really was like, ooh, are they going to be able to capture the magic? Are they going to be able to capture the intensity? Because there were just some moments in the first trilogy that were just so intense because Andy Serkis was behind that camera. I mean, behind that mask of CGI, but it still just oozed through, and it was just so intense. And I have to admit, this movie did a good job bringing that forward. There was a lot of moments that I completely forgot that I was watching CGI'd apes.
Yeah.
That there are some don't get me wrong, there are some moments where you're like, huh, yeah, that's CGI. But for the most part, the emotional parts, the moments when they're talking to each other, the motion where the apes are interacting, you completely forget that those are not real apes. And it just helps you dive into this world more. It got me more invested in the world and made me just want to hang out and learn more about this world. Even though I have to admit, I would really have liked for them to give a little bit more detail on where on the planet they were.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
To where you're kind of like, I think that's San Francisco. Maybe not. Then there's other places that you're like, okay, I know where they are. Mm-hmm. Because I think the main trilogy happened near and around San Francisco.
Yeah, I think so too. And obviously Apes is definitely in the forefront of this. We do have some human elements to it, but I would say it's the majority of Noah's story, Noah and his clan story. And there is a lot going on, and they packed it all in for the 2.5-hour ride that you're going to go on for this movie, but it doesn't feel convoluted ever. I will say, upon thinking about it, when we got to the third act, right before that like climax/finale happened, I feel like, now we've slept on it, we talked about it, I still like the movie a lot, and I highly recommend that, especially if you're a fan of the Apes franchise, like, you gotta go experience this in the theaters. Like, don't wait until it comes out on streaming, because you're gonna lose the beautiful photo and the sound. But there was a couple of moments where I felt like they rushed certain things, where they could have built, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. There's
where
a few
they
moments.
could have built it up a little bit more, so it feels a little bit less believable when one of the characters kind of finally got his dues. But at the same time, they were kind of building towards it a little bit. So you knew it was coming. It's not a complete surprise. It's a little bit predictable that this was going to happen. I liked May a lot, our one human element in the in the movie. She doesn't get to do too much, and when she is in it, she's really great. But I will say, and Christian and he was at the same screening we talked about it a little bit, and he had mentioned that he didn't super love that a lot of times she looked like she came out of, aside from the initial meeting, yeah, like her skin is like very, like smooth, and yes, there's a little bit of like that makeup dirt on it, and her clothes, it's that raggedy dirty, but sort of that styled look.
Yeah.
Like, it's like it's a little too like perfectly stressed here and de-stressed there, little tiny things. Performances obviously is really fantastic, but I really do enjoy the movie. I feel like it's almost a little unfair to compare it to the Caesar arc.
Yeah.
Just there's so much heart in Caesar's story, but this one was really good, and they still have, they make sure to talk about the Caesar legacy, and they make sure to kind of also nod to like what's to come once we catch up with the Charlton Heston's version of Planet of the Apes.
That's what I'm actually really looking forward to, is when they actually get to whenever that spaceship lands, because in the very first one of that of the Caesar trilogy, they teased a spaceship going off into outer space. So I'm excited for them to get to that point, and I'm wondering if it's going to be in this saga, and then it's in the next saga that they're going to introduce, Cornelius, Dr. Zaius, and I can't remember Charlton Heston's character name. But if it's we're going to have to wait until the next trilogy, and we're going to get it's going to be like 3 sagas in a sense, or 3 trilogies that we're finally going to get. And who would have thought that, so many years later after the original Planet of the Apes movies came out,
yes,
that we would get an amazing trilogy of movies from this franchise.
Yes.
And I'm excited. I love what they're doing with the world, and I can't wait to see more.
Yeah.
And if you guys want to hear more on this, we actually do have our review out on our channel. So go there and you can check it out, more of our thoughts in more detail.
Yes, full review is available on the channel. You guys, thank you for your super chats. We do see them. We just kind of want to hold them until we hit a break in the show in between the topics, which is right now. So just going in order, thank you so much to Blade for your super chat. And
Blade.
The message says, happy belated birthday, Dustin.
Yay.
Woo! Hope you and Wendy have an amazing 2024. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I'm sorry that we missed, I think Blade just recently visited LA, and we missed.
Oh.
Yeah, no opera. But you know what? Like, your schedule was packed. It was busy, and we love that for you. We also have another super chat from Anthony. Anthony, thank you so much. Anthony writes, heck yeah, you guys are still on. Hi, great to see you guys live on my break. Hope work and life is going good. Much love. Hi, Movie Bunch. Thank you so much, Anthony. Life is going good. We got a sturdy roof over our heads, and even though ironically
that's still being worked on,
getting a lot of roof work done. So it's been very disruptive, but it needed to get done. Work, I'm trying to stay booked and busy. There are some things, I'm hitting some roadblocks with certain things that I don't think I'm gonna talk about publicly just yet. But all in all, we're healthy. Navi's happy. It's all fine. So thank you so much for
We're venturing into new territory with trying to put some of our stuff up on Spotify as well. So yeah, things are so far going good, busy, crazy, but 2024, whew.
yeah. It's a banger. And last super chat for this segment. Thank you so much to Nikita, Adventures with Nikita for the super sticker.
Ooh,
it's so cute, little popcorn. Yeah, so cute.
Very appropriate. Amazing.
And then right before we move on, the character you're thinking of is George Taylor.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Honestly, I have not seen that movie in so long, but now that I've seen so many of the Planet of the Apes movies, I want to go back and rewatch that one, because I think there was a lot of moments in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes that I was like, I think that's a shout out to something that happened in the first movie with Charlton. I don't remember all the details though, but I'm curious to go back and find out.
Yes. And thank you so much to Richard for letting us know which was the character he played.
Thank you so much.
Let's go ahead and move on to our next topic, and I think this is the one everybody came and tuned in for.
Yeah.
X-Men 97, episode 9. This is the penultimate episode. We have the season finale next week, which I don't know. I'm feeling like I can't wait to get into it because I want to see how it all goes down. But at the same time, I am not ready for it. I don't want it to end because I've been having so much fun with X-Men 97. So let's talk about it. Things are not looking good for either mutants nor humans. Magneto basically blacked out the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
The humans, rightfully so, are angry about it, but also the mutants, rightfully so, are angry about what happened. Exactly. In Genosha, Professor X is back, and his X-Men, not all of them are very happy with him, specifically Scott.
I'm not very happy with him. I'm kind of like, why did you have to do this entire facade of, having the fact that we still don't even know exactly how that happened. The fact that he had that, faked his death, that to where even the X-Men.
No, they knew.
But because they
knew. Even Magneto said it. He was like, when you went and ran off to your Bird Queen.
Well, yeah, but the thing is though, they still seemed like they thought that him being assassinated was real. So I'm curious on, did they actually think it was real? Was there something that made them think it was real? But then now that he's back, he's like, no, this is what really happened. Or the whole time they knew that he was up with the Shi'ar.
Or potentially because his injury was so great, it was sort of we hope he make it, but we got to go and see, and they just didn't hear from him, and they just hope for the best.
Yeah.
But I do believe what was decided to be told to the public, it seems like anyways, is that he had died, and only the X-Men knew the more, like fine print details, because obviously Magneto knew. So it's just gearing up to be so great. I love that Storm and Forge finally came back and joined the fight. I'm still very heartbroken over Remy. That hurts so much because he's my favorite X-Men. So to see him like not in this, and same thing for Storm too. Storm, because of the journey she had to go on in regards of her powers, going missing, she also missed out on majority of the season.
Yeah.
And I was like, do they take her out because she's that powerful? And they're just kind of like, well, we gotta put her to the side for the show because we gotta give the advantage to other stuff. I don't know, but I am really happy with where the story goes, where it's now, Xavier versus Magneto all over again.
Yeah, kind of back to the old school. And speaking of the old school, I geeked out so hard when they started putting on some of their like old X-Men costumes, the old visor and the old blue outfit for Cyclops, the old Wolverine costume.
And the Marvel Girl costume.
And the old, technically all the old costumes for all of them. It was so cool to be able to see them do that and for them to just have that original look. And also the fact that it was the original group that went up to Asteroid M to be able to fight Magneto. And to have kind of like, I remember that part in the old video game, the old side-scrolling, button smashing video game that they had, that was just so much fun to see. And of course, you had to have one of those awesome, just flowing with the fight kind of shots where it was Wolverine and Nightcrawler hopping in and out. I love watching those two fight. So far, that have been like one of my favorite fight combos in the show so far.
Yeah, like when was it last week where he grabbed the third sword with his tail?
Yep.
So good.
I'll give you 6 reasons.
9.
How about 9?
Yeah, really loving it. I love seeing Wolverine in his brown and yellow costume. That was really, really awesome. And I gotta say, I love the Jean Grey fight between her and Sinister.
Yeah.
I thought it was really, really fantastic, really well done. What a boss move also for Sinister to turn Nathan against her.
Oh, yeah.
You know, to kind of control him and seeing it used that way. I don't know if Jean Grey, it looked like she maybe died. I don't know. We didn't really see it because it flashed back to Scott, so I'm not sure.
It wouldn't be the first time that Jean Grey has died. I mean, she's died with the Phoenix. She's died multiple times, and also her clone has died. So it's kind of like Jean really can't win, but she always comes back. But also, I mean, there's just so many moments in this episode that were so amazing. I also loved, speaking of their costumes, I love the little joke that I can't remember who said it, but it was, "What did you want?
Scott.
Black leather?"
Scott
and I was like,
to Nathan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Scott
that's right.
Cable.
It was Scott giving Nathan or Cable the blue and yellow outfit, and he was like, "What do you want? Black leather?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes.
That was really great. And then of course, just to kind of wrap up this discussion, we have to talk about how this episode ended with Wolverine going up and stabbing his claws, like running his claws straight through Magneto. And what happens after that? And you called it out as you heard it happen.
Oh yeah.
And you said, "Oh my God, he's pulling.
He's doing it. It's gonna happen. Oh my God, it's happening."
Magneto did the thing.
And there was just a moment to where I was like, oh, I know what's going on. I know what this is now going to lead to. And it was one of those things that I just completely forgot about, that it was such a huge moment even right now, I am getting so worked up thinking about this scene. And if you guys, I mean, go back and watch our reaction on it, I think that's one of the biggest reactions I have ever had, not just for this X-Men 97 show, but for a lot of our reactions that we do, because it just caught me completely by surprise. And I am so curious on where they're going to be taking this next, especially for Wolverine's character, because this was a huge blow to him. If I'm not mistaken, this also wrecks his healing factor, because his body had to just do so much work to keep himself alive after his adamantium got ripped out of his body. His healing factor just doesn't work much anymore, and all he has left are the bone claws.
Yeah.
So I'm curious on if they're going to show that storyline in the next season, because I would love to see a little bit more of that. Are they going to talk about how he actually gets his adamantium back? Are we going to see more? Where is this building up to? Because there are a lot of rumors, and I think I've seen it pop up a couple times in the chat right now on, is this going to lead to Onslaught? Which is something I have been dying to see in this series. And this would be perfect place to put them, because you can have it to where it just, they're able to kind of stabilize what's going on with Bastion and with the Sentinels, kind of get everything back to a nice, hey, everyone's, back to the normal tensions that they have on Earth with mutants and humans. But then Onslaught comes in and just wrecks everything, because that's the way it works. Yay, we're good. We're back to normal. No, something bad's happening. Hey, we handled it. Okay, we're back to normal. No, something's just... And I am so excited for season 2. I am so excited for this series, and I hope they do more than just season 2. They go on to season 3, 4, 5. We'll end up with so many seasons, because there's so much material for them to pull from.
Yeah, that'd be the dream. I think the fallout of what he did to what Magneto did to Wolverine, not only it, just to kind of piggyback of what you said, but I think it's going to set Professor Xavier into just a rage.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like we're potentially going to see that happen. I don't know how they are going to fit the season finale into 30 minutes for next week. So far, they've been really consistent with the 30-minute runtime. I think perhaps the first episode was maybe the longest at like 36 or something like that, but that's 36 including credits. So they're still playing around like the 30-minute mark. Do we want to be left with a major cliffhanger until next
No.
season, or do we want to somewhat wrap it up but tease us with a really good post-credit or mid-credit scene? Yeah, I think just to kind of like for a peace of mind, that's what I would like as well. Like, I'm slowly starting to accept that we won't get to see Gambit back
I think
in
Gambit's
this
gone.
series, which makes me so sad.
I'm so torn because one, Gambit was an amazing character that I loved so much and I want to see more of him.
Yes.
But it just shows just how ballsy they are to be like, hey, you know what? This is going to be brutal. We're going to have some characters that die. We don't want to have heroes that just are like at the end of everything. They're like, hey, we survived. We're awesome. No, what is that called? No deaths in our group whatsoever. But, in the real world, heroes die. And it's sad to see him go, but it makes the story just so much more intense and impactful to us as viewers that, it's just thinking about it. I'm still just teary about it.
So before we move on to our next topic, which will be The Boys Season 4 official trailer, we want to go to the live comments and take a look at some of them. This one from Corinth Rucker, who says, I don't know, for a minute there, I thought I was seeing flames, like Jean Grey, was tapping into the Phoenix power again, but it could have been just from the battle between her and Nathan. But that's not the only comment that alludes to us seeing the Phoenix. There is from Venita, sorry. There is usually a payoff in the intro, which is why we never skip, exactly. And they keep showing Jean as Dark Phoenix. So...
Oh, that makes sense. And, that also points out something else. For a lot of the episodes before we had Charles with the Shi'ar, there were clips of the Shi'ar Empire. So, and then once that kind of reveal was done, they moved on to something else. They've also kept on showing Cable fighting Apocalypse. So that could also be another storyline that they still have going.
That's right. Yeah. The potential honestly is endless. So they can pull so much from the source material. I believe everybody who's working behind the scenes on X-Men 97 are fans of X-Men, probably like us, like growing up. Yeah, so they want to be able to like throw in as much as they can into the cauldron and just be like, what can we conjure up? We right before we move on, we have one super chat from Billy Bug. Thank you so much. Who writes, I am still hurting from that ending of the episode.
Which one?
It's probably episode 5, but also episode 9, because that was you and I were rendered speechless.
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
Like gaping at our TV, like did they really do that? Oh yeah, they really did that. So that is insane. So make sure you guys are subscribed and all of that to our channel. We will definitely be doing obviously our final thoughts on the season finale for X-Men next week, as well as the reaction to the finale, so stay tuned for that. Okay, let's go.
One last thing I wanted to discuss with you guys as well is that I'm really curious on if we're going to start seeing any non-mutant superheroes appear in the final episode of X-Men, because we saw Spider-Man, we've had talk of Doctor Strange, we've saw
Captain America.
So I'm wondering if there's going to be any of those guys popping up as well at the final episode.
Ooh, that'd be really interesting. That would be very
because then we can get into the X-Men versus Avengers versus X-Men storyline in season 3, because I would want to see that so
You want to write the show?
Yes, I do. I'll bring in all my comic books and be like, let's do this. and then I still want them to do the House of M storyline, which would be so cool, but then they still have to introduce Wanda Maximoff and Quicksilver.
Yeah, there's a lot of potentials, but I'm gonna trust in the writers.
Yes,
they've been doing a fantastic job. Congratulations to the entire team over X-Men 97. We are eating it up. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic, and we're keeping in the superhero realm, but we're moving away from Marvel specific. We're gonna talk The Boys Season 4 trailer that dropped this past weekend, the weekend before that, I think, at CCXP. We have been waiting forever for The Boys, and you guys who have been long-time, viewers and listeners, I'm sure you already know that we were very late to the party for The Boys. And like, we would watch a couple episodes or like clips and videos here and there, but we never sat down and enjoyed it from like episode 1 through, the end of season 3. But then it was actually Gen V that kicked it in gear.
Yeah, because
for us, surprisingly.
We got invited to a screening for it, and after watching like the first episode, we were like, we really wanted to do reactions to it. So we filmed our reactions, and then we're like, you know what? Now that we've done this, we have to get caught up on The Boys.
Only makes sense.
So we binged 1, 2, and 3, and I have to admit, it really got us just so excited for season 4. It really got us into the series. And I feel a little lucky that we actually started a little late, because it's been about 2 years since the end of season 3 to the start of season 4, where all of you guys who have just been glued to your TVs since season 1 have had to wait those entire 2 years for season 4. But us, we're like, we just finished a few months ago, so we didn't have to wait that long. But we are so psyched, and this trailer just... One of the things about the entire season is that there's so many times where you're like, that is messed up. This trailer just goes, okay, we're going to take all of that messed up stuff that we did, and we're going to crank it up to 11.
Yeah, this show, if anything, is just, it's never lacking in chaos and blood and gore, and I love all of it, all the shenanigans that they get into. But it's huge now, there's a whole shakeup. We've got a virus happening, and if you add in what happened between, The Boys and Homelander, specifically, I guess, Butcher and The Boys and Vought, and what's happened with Gen V, they're building, the world building, I think, is really, really cool. There's so much lore, so much cool characters. I believe I read that season 4 is in the end. Like, they have plans for more seasons.
Okay.
Does that mean they're actually going to go and make it? We don't really know that until we get the confirmation, but it seems like the showrunners and people who are involved would like to see it continue. So I don't know if that's going to be it for Butcher, because they kind of gave him a little bit of a, time limit on his survival. So it really depends on how they're going to play that out. Between that and Homelander, his son, and a couple cameos, pretty important cameos from Kate and Sam from Gen V, which is, it makes sense. You said it. I think it really makes sense for them to be in the trailer. It was a quick snippet, so we couldn't see them from like chest down. So I don't know what they're doing with Kate's hands.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they found some way to make it mechanical. But the thing is, though, can she use her powers with a mechanical arm? Because she would need, I think she needs skin-to-skin contact for her powers to actually work.
Yeah.
But all of the things that we saw in the trailer were just gotten us so excited. And one thing that I'm just like, this is a weird way to go, are soup animals. I mean, that's something that's getting stuck in my head and has been living in my brain rent-free.
The roosters, the chickens.
The chickens and the sheep.
Or the lamb.
Like, the sheeps are finally like, we know what you've been doing to us. Now that we have power, we're going to take on the world. And I'm just like, oh my God. I mean, my reaction was very much like Frenchie's reaction, to where he was like, what is all of this?
But didn't he say, not again?
This is...
I was like, what kind of run-in have you had with farm animals, Frenchie? No, I'm so happy that we don't have to wait too long for the season to come back. I think they're doing like a 2-episode or 3-episode premiere. Ooh, wow. Which is insane. So like RIP to us when it comes to filming and editing, because that's going to be a lot. But we'll try to get it up. Yeah, we'll try to get it up in as much of a timely manner as we can for our reactions. But it looks great. And then I do want to point out to this comment from Blade real quick on the live stream side. Blade Wright, also RIP Chance Perdomo, who played Andre in Gen V, which is really tragic, and what a huge loss to the entire Boys / Gen V family. They did confirm that they will not be recasting the role, because he just left such a big hole in everybody's heart, and it just didn't feel right to recast him. And I understand that, like, he was so good as Andre, and they were building up his story to be something really cool. So I don't know how they're going to proceed forward, which is why they haven't gone back into production as far as filming goes, because now they gotta potentially rewrite. I've also read comments elsewhere. I think that it was actually under our comments in the Boys season 4 trailer reaction, is that people are allegedly saying that they're hearing rumors that there won't be another season of Gen V. Oh. Just because they don't know how to
move the story forward without because he's
a pretty big part.
He was a pretty pivotal part. He was kind of like the what is that called, when your dad was a part of the college and then you are, that is what is that called, when you are he was like the when you've
passed on.
No, he like, you're going to be the next in line.
The legacy?
The legacy, thank you. He was the legacy student of the group.
Yeah.
And that plays...
Because of who his dad was.
Because of who his dad was, where he was going, and just, he was trying to bring on the next... I mean, he was the next generation of superheroes. So that's going to be a really interesting thing to see how they handle this.
Yeah.
But all of my thoughts go out to all of his friends, all of his family, the entire cast of Gen V, because they lost an amazing guy,
so young too, really tragic. So let us know in the comments below or in the chat if you're watching us live, your thoughts on the trailer for season 4 of The Boys. It's gonna get bananas. I already know it. I don't know if we're getting puppets or what, but we certainly got Bubbles in that one shot. So yeah. We will see. All right, let's go ahead and move to our final topic of the day, a little bit lighter of a topic, moving so far away from movie and TV news. We just want to talk about some theme park stuff for a little bit. And this is, sort of early stages of this, but for Disneyland in Orange County in California, they've just been approved their DisneyForward project, which is a $1.9 billion expansion project, has gotten the final approval from the City of Anaheim. Again, this is still really early planning. They're gonna figure out, I think, zoning and everything, but what we're reading is everything like they're looking to expand and start maybe retheming, sort of like how Orlando has it, because Orlando has a lot more like properties surrounding the actual theme park that kind of goes out, that belong to Disney. And I feel like that this is kind of what this project is emulating, something similar. They're going to have dining, shopping, maybe some attractions. We know that Bob Iger has been talking about bringing the Avatar Pandora experience to California. And we were thinking, where are you going to put that, Bob?
We don't have much space. And I thought they said that they were going to put it in California Adventure, but they could put it in Disney. Is it called Disneyland Forward or just DisneyForward? DisneyForward. Honestly, bring on more Disney stuff. And the fact that they're putting it in the Toy Story parking lot, I'm like, okay, cool. You're wiping out a parking lot. I'm not too heartbroken over the fact that you are taking out a parking lot. And they said that somewhere in there was like $30 million that was going to be allocated to, street construction, fixing up the roads, fixing up the sewer line, and also putting in affordable housing. So that I'm like, okay, that sounds important and something we need.
Yes.
There is one big concern about a lot of the locals in that area that are saying that Disney Way, or one of the big
Disneyland
Drive is going to be shut down for quite a long time while they're doing construction.
I think to clarify, I think the article said they're working on properties or zoning west of Disneyland Drive. So they didn't say specifically that will be shut down, but they do say a main road that a lot of the locals use that's connected where you exit off the 5 freeway will be closed, which is going to cause a big hindrance to whether it's Disneyland Drive or not. It could be Catala Harbor or Disney Way, like any of them. It's going to cause some major backup.
Yeah.
On a freeway that's already very busy.
Yeah, and honestly, that's the last thing that the area of Anaheim needs, which is more traffic around Disneyland.
Yeah.
However, though, this is going to bring in a lot of jobs, a lot of business, a lot of what is that called? A lot of tourism. Everyone's going to want to see this new Disneyland project. And Disneyland Anaheim is going to have to be very creative on where they build things, because unlike Orlando, Florida, which has like 43 square miles of land to build whatever they want, Disneyland has only a few acres. So tiny, like it's our tiny castle. Land. And it's funny though, Disneyland is still the #2 most visit theme park in the world. #1
Orlando.
is Orlando Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
So it makes sense that they're going to want to expand, that they're going to want to put in new things to bring in more business. And as long as everything goes smoothly and there are, no more shenanigans that are normally expected from, big corporations expanding and building things, I'm excited. I'm interested to see what they bring. I'm interested to see. I think it's going to be more of a new kind of downtown Disney and less like a new California adventure. I feel like it's going to be less of a new theme park and more of a new food, dining, entertainment, and downtown Disney-esque area.
Yeah, I think maybe they want to kind of like emulate a little bit of like Disney Springs, which is only in Orlando, and they kind of bring that outward, kind of almost like expanding their downtown Disney. Don't like, I'm not saying they are expanding downtown Disney because it's pretty large already, but they're going to want to add their own theming and aesthetics to the surrounding shops.
Well, they've been doing a lot of work at downtown Disney too.
I'm really excited for Portos. Portos is supposed to open up, in downtown Disney, and I love, not that there isn't like 2 Portos, in drivable distance close to us that we could go to, but like it'd be cool to kind of walk in and get a pastry and then go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Just so we don't always have to eat breakfast. Like, I don't know, it just
sounds like
breakfast
fun. At the park is always really fun.
Breakfast at the park is really good, but you got to get there early. You got to get there like before 10.
You don't get there that early.
No, like I like to just like a really chill stroll in the park. I don't love to rope drop. We will do it every now and again if we need to get things like done, if we're filming something, or we just want to have like longer time in there. But otherwise, like rope drop it. I don't know. I'm just getting too old to rope drop, I think. What is Portos? Somebody asks in the chat. Jamal. Portos is a Cuban bakery that we have here in California. I'm not sure if it's anywhere else. Coming from Miami, Florida, I've never seen a Portos over there. But Cuban pastries is not like a commodity in Miami. Like, you can get it anywhere and they're all good. So Portos specializes in Cuban pastries, so like the guava cheese pastries.
Really
yeah, the you can get like regular food too. The potato balls.
Potato balls, that's
are
what I've seen.
Delicious. Yeah, the cheese rolls are always. If you've never been there before, cheese rolls, I think it's a good like thing to like ease you into. Are you getting hungry?
Yeah, now I'm getting hungry. I'm like, get in my belly.
Yeah, it's really really good. Yeah, so if you have a Portos near you and you haven't tried it before, it is not too late. Go check it out. So you guys, that is it for all of the topics that we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us on today's live stream, and thank you for those of you tuning in on Spotify afterwards as well. We will be back next week on Wednesday, time TBD, but we will be back to talk about the season finale for X-Men 97. Hopefully our tears would have dried by then. I'm just expecting to cry next week. I really am.
Yeah, I have a feeling that it's going to be incredibly intense. I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of tears shed, and I am just ready for it.
Yes.
So we will see you guys on Wednesday, and thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you guys are watching us on Spotify, please give us a 5-star rating, and we'll see you guys in our next video.
See you then.